lost without a map? Imagine you're going on a road trip. You pack your bags, grab snacks, and hop into the car. Exciting, right? But then you realize you have no idea where you're going. No GPS, no plan, just vibes. So you start driving randomly. 2 hours later, you're lost in the middle of nowhere, running low on gas and questioning every life decision you've ever made. This is exactly how most people live their lives. Without direction, without a plan, and without a clue where they're actually headed. Begin with the end in mind is all about having a clear vision of where you want to go before you even start. Because if you don't know where you're headed, you'll waste time, energy, and maybe even end up somewhere you don't want to be. Let's break this down with real-life examples, why most people get it wrong, and how you can start applying this habit today. What does begin with the end in mind actually mean? It means thinking about the final destination before you start the journey. If life were a movie, this habit would be about writing the ending first. If it were a business, this habit would be starting with the goal before making a strategy. It's about asking yourself, where do I want to be in 5 years? What kind of person do I want to become? Am I making decisions that align with my goals? Most people never ask these questions. Instead, they just go with the flow, react to life, and hope for the best. That's a terrible strategy. Why most people live on autopilot? Let's be real. Most people are just going through the motions of life. Go to school because everyone else does. Pick a job based on salary, not passion. Stay in situations that don't make them happy just because it's comfortable. They drift through life like a paper boat in the ocean, letting the currents decide where they go. And then one day, they wake up and think, wait, how did I end up here? They never began with the end in mind. They just let life happen to them. The Netflix trap, mindlessly consuming life. Ever binge watch a show without checking reviews only to realize 10 episodes and that it's garbage? But now, you're too invested to quit, so you keep watching, hoping it gets better. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. This is exactly how people end up in careers they hate, relationships that drain them, and lifestyles that don't fulfill them. They never checked if it was leading them somewhere they actually wanted to go. Lesson: before you commit to something, ask yourself, does this fit into the future I want? How to apply begin with the end in mind in real life. Enough theory. Let's talk about how to use this habit in your daily life. Define your end goal. Society loves telling you what success should look like. You need a high-paying job. You should get married by 30. You should own a house. But what do you really want? If money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? If you had 5 years to live, how would you spend them? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Write it down. Be specific. Because if you don't define your vision, someone else will define it for you. Reverse engineer your life. Once you have a vision, work backward. Want to be financially free? Start by managing your spending and investing. Want to start a business? Learn the skills, build a plan, and take action. Want to be healthier? Fix your eating habits, schedule workouts, and stay consistent. Think of your life like a GPS. If you enter the destination first, the directions become clear. Stop making short-term decisions with long-term consequences. Too many people sacrifice their future for temporary comfort. Skipping workouts today leads to health problems later. Spending recklessly now means financial stress later. Saying yes to everything now leads to burnout later. Ask yourself, will this decision bring me closer to my long-term goal or further away? If it doesn't align with your vision, say no. The funeral test. Yes, it's morbid, but it works. One of the most powerful exercises Covey suggests is the funeral test. Imagine your own funeral. Morbid? Maybe, but stick with me. What would you want people to say about you? They were successful, or they made a real difference. They worked hard, or they lived life to the fullest. They had money, or they were kind, loving, and inspiring. The point? Work backward from the legacy you want to leave. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember how much money you made. They'll remember who you were, how you made them feel, and what impact you had. The snowball effect of starting with the end in mind. Once you apply this habit, your life changes fast. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You make better decisions that align with your future. You stop comparing yourself to others because you're focused on your path. You'll start living intentionally, not accidentally. Take action in the next 24 hours. Here's your challenge. 1. Write down one big goal. Where do you want to be in 5 years? 2. Break it down into steps. What can you do this month to get closer? 3. Make one change today. Just one small step toward your goal, and most importantly, stop waiting for the perfect time. Your future self is waiting for you to start today. Final thoughts. Take control of your story. Life isn't a random series of events. It's a story you get to write. You can either let life happen to you or take control and design the life you actually want. So, what's one goal you're going to start working toward today? Drop it in the comments. And if this video helped, make sure to subscribe because we're here to help you level up your mindset and your life. Your future self will thank you.